what's up, everybody? Welcome to Call to Action Live, your weekly show with us where we recap everything that happened this week, things that we predict will happen next week, just gab about stuff we love about Schmoedown, and also talk to the chat and find out what you guys want to talk about. Happy to be here this evening. My name is Kelsey, and to your guys' right, I have the lovely, the talented, the amazing Mac Daddy, Alex herself. How are you doing tonight?
I am fantastic. I just got my fancy new water bottle from Amazon, so I'm excited to drink more water this year.
Yes.
Stay hydrated.
Hydration's real.
Very important.
My lips are very crusty right now.
Good to know. Good to know.
All right. And right below me, I have the amazing, the awesome, the co-host of Chill to Action, PLD himself, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back on Call Live. I love doing the show with you, Kelsey. You're so awesome.
Thank you. I love having you on the show. It makes me so excited when we're in the chat and you're like, I'll be on. I'm like, score. I got Alex. I got Paul. It's gonna be a fun night.
Definitely.
All right. Well, I am ready to get started talking about all the fun things we had happen this week. So I guess this means we are going to don't call it a recap. Recap everything. Recap everything that happened this week, starting with a really interesting match. Not only was the match interesting, but you can watch a really good reaction of it this week with Alex herself and her amazing husband. It was pretty darn entertaining. It was a good reaction.
That was a fun match. On his end, I kind of felt a little bad for Lucas because going into it, like I kind of pulled him in last minute because I was like, babe, I need someone to react with me. Otherwise, I'm going to be drinking alone on screen and reacting to something. That's probably not a good combination. And he's like, I guess I'll join it. At that point, he's already like a bottle in of wine. I blame Mark Riley's cantina, for a lot of our recent wine purchases. So,
that happens.
Yeah, I blame him for sure. But I'm actually happy with a lot of the purchases.
All the vineyards should give him a cut. Be like, why is our wine sales going up? It's because of Riley's cantina.
Just like give him like the links with like just give him, make it sponsored. Let's make that happen. But it was a really fantastic match. Lucas and I kind of made a drinking game out of it. He, unfortunately, the match was spoiled for him unintentionally. However, he kind of went into it knowing no specific details, no numbers or, anything like that. So we were pretty kind of curious going into it. But it was such an amazing match. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was.
Great match. Especially for it was our first team match of the season, right?
Yep. Yeah, but I gotta say, it was the match that everybody said was going to happen. Everybody said that Paul and Tom were going to be undefeated. They're going to undefeated. They're going to win belts. Tom's going to be double belted. It got to the point where there are a couple of people who were like so gung ho about it. I was almost like, I almost want to see him lose just so because they're too high up. You got to knock them down just a little bit to be more interesting, to be more exciting.
It's kind of like the Founding Fathers a little bit. When you remember when Founding Fathers came together for the first time, you're like, you already have arguably one of the most unbeatable combination of competitors ever. Putting together to them as a team is like, what? You can't really compare them to any other team at all. But this one in particular, I kind of felt bad because I kind of wanted them to lose a little bit just because they have been so hyped up. Well,
when you're on top and you're on top, you always want to see the underdog win. And God, that Whitney Seibel has been an underdog for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Not by his fault, but he's such an underdog. I mean, this is a guy who regularly was scoring in the 30s with his teams and still losing.
Yes.
So I mean, if anybody deserved to win at this point with Whitney Seibel.
I would say I honestly picked Whitney going into it. We kind of made a drinking game out of it, and I was like, I had Whitney on recently on Schmoedown, so I'm gonna choose him to drink along. So every point they get, I'm gonna take a drink. That was a mistake, but it really
were made.
I was very very happy by the end. But it was one of those things. Whitney has a history in particular of being wonderful part of teams. He's been part of these really great teams of more like what could have been kind of situations. It wasn't Take the Cannoli. It was the Self-Righteous Brothers.
Yep.
They were what, 32, 33 kind of thing, or 30, 31?
Yep, that's
like,
what
in a first round teams tournament. That's like unheard of.
Right.
And he almost like won teams belts with being part of Critical Acclaim like twice. He's great, but I mean, part of singles, he's not great, but he obviously thrives when he's in a team environment.
Yeah. Well, Critically Acclaimed was always a great team that always seemed to like never be able to get over the hump, mainly because I mean Whitney and the Beast's knowledge are pretty similar.
Very similar.
They have those niches or whatever. He needs to find somebody who might branch out a little bit. I don't know if Alonso Duralde is that person, but after that first showing, it might just be.
Yeah. Well, I do want to ask Kelsey and Paul specifically. Lucas and I actually had this conversation over dinner once, and we were talking about there's like 3 different types of teams.
I'm guessing Ben's stream descended. I'm guessing because we're going to see a little bit of a
hello. But there's 3 different types of teams that you'll find within Schmoedown. I feel like this can kind of be a whole episode in itself. Right. One is like the entertainment, the faces, specifically not Keel's faces kind of thing. I just mean like people that want to be entertainment hosts, their personalities, that kind of thing. So like Ben and Drew, when they're part of Team Action, they're like an entertainment face. So they're not like they're like movie critics, but at the same time, they're not putting out an article to like Variety.com.
Okay. Okay.
Right? I see. Yeah, they're not writing articles and not writing like books or things like that. Maybe in the future, who knows? But you get critically acclaimed where that's like their job.
Right. They're movie critics.
To write about like 1930s film or whatever it may be. And you kind of get that. As a result, you get much more niche, much more festival darlings, that kind of thing. And then that's the second type of team. And then you get the third team. Tyler. So you get where it's like one movie critic and you get one entertainment host kind of person. Right. As a result, the strengths and weaknesses kind of align a lot better. So and kind of going back, you get a lot of that kind of combination of players that have won belts.
Yeah. That's just going to take off to like dwell on that a little bit. I never really thought of it that way. I always thought of it as like we had an entertaining team. Like when you say entertainment, I thought you were talking like Wildberries entertainment. Like the teams that are not going to do great, but they're there. They're going to entertain the hell out of you. And Action was actually kind of like that at first too, when they weren't quite as good as they got, so to speak. But you make sense though. The ones who do this for a living, and they're going to have definitely different knowledge than the other faces. But it's an interesting take. I'll have to say on that. But Whitney is one of those people who does do critics. Critics.
I know he does. Like he definitely does stuff here and there, for like TV and things like that. But again, by no means is he going to be auditioning for Entertainment Tonight, as far as I know.
That's true.
He wants to write for THR and Variety.com and Bloody Disgusting and all these really wonderful magazines and, all that good stuff. And he wants to write art critic books, marathon Charlie Chaplin movies. But is he going to want to is he going to be at all the premieres for like the Transformers movies? Probably not something he's super excited about.
Sure, that could be. That could very well be. It's interesting to see how that. I'll have to take that to advisement and kind of see how this all shakes out as the season goes down. We'll do a little study. Maybe we'll get Megs to do a stat check on that kind of thing.
Please, that'd be awesome. What's up, girl?
Megs is awesome. Megs is our own little Frankie Numbers in a way. So the Action Army version of Frankie Numbers. So she's been doing a lot of stats. Nice. That's right. Megs is the best. I love it. But so yeah, this match had a lot of interesting points. Of course, the big controversy that went down on it. We should talk about that. The decision by Kate, the manager. But although a lot of people are blaming Kate, but Paul and Tom are grown adults, so they can make decisions too. The decision to give Whitney and Alonso Duralde the Festival Darlings category.
Festival Darlings.
Was it her decision though?
She says it was.
Was it?
That she took credit for it, but she says it was.
Yeah.
And she said that the strategy was to give it to them so they could maybe they wouldn't. So they didn't spin it themselves because they weren't going to be very good. And it was off the boards of the festival. It's an interesting strategy if true, but I don't know if it's a very good strategy because that means you're going to give your opponent 8 points and no chance to steal. I almost feel like the other strategy is better to give them one of your strengths that they might not be good at. Like, for example, I don't remember what was on the board. I can't remember. I'm honestly, but like if something like Transformers is on the board, you give them Transformers knowing you can steal.
Give them Medea movies.
Exactly. So,
no matter what, if it's on there, give them a damn movie.
It was an interesting strategy. They're all 3 adults. I feel like Kate can't take all of it because either one of them, if they knew, could have spoken up and be like, "Hey, it's not a good idea." So
yeah.
It was just a misstep. Especially new people have those. I mean, people do to working together.
I want to say right now that Kate's taking it way too hard. Kate came out very upset about it and everything else. Like I said, all time are grown adults. Kate has a strategy she wants to put forth that they don't have to exactly follow it. So they can argue back. They're playing the game. They can make that choice. And it's one game, it's one match, one of our first matches. It's not as big of a deal as people are making out to. It's not like Paul and Tom are going to go away now. They're not losing. They're not going to.
Well, on that note specifically, what would it take at this point with competitors being traded and dropped and everything all the time? What would it take for a new team to be dropped or broken up? I know Christian said it's going to happen pretty quickly. I mean, if they don't win within the first 2 matches or so, got to move on to something else because you need to get those points real quick.
I agree. I get that. But you got to look at Tom and Paul have still scored 32 points in a loss, or it was 31 and 32 points in a loss. Tom and Paul are they're top tier players. You give them a couple more shots.
But a loss is a loss. I mean, like if they lose one more, that would have to be a conversation to be had, even if the score was 32-33.
I would think that would be one of the teams I would not break up even after 3 losses, to be honest with you.
There you go. 2 losses before you can be broken up. So thank you, Lucas.
Now, just theoretically, Lucas, while you're in the chat, while you're saying that, is it 2 losses from a new team or 2 losses from an established team? Like I wasn't quite sure on that. Like if a new team just put together, can you just break them up right away if you want? I mean, why would you? I guess it would be the question. If you put them together for a reason, 1 loss shouldn't make you go, "Oh no, that's not." Unless they look really, really bad, which Tom and Paul didn't. So,
oh, absolutely, that's the thing. They weren't like destroyed or anything like that. It was still a very close match.
Right.
It just didn't go their way.
Saying 2 losses from any team. Okay, that makes sense. I just wasn't quite clear about that. So okay, that makes sense.
So I imagine some pretty big teams might be broken up pretty soon this season. So
again, no, you're right in that. But I gotta feel like there's a couple teams, some team you would give a little more leeway to having a little bit of bad luck. Like if the Founding Fathers, for example, lose the belts and then lose their match, are you really gonna break up the Founding Fathers after 2 losses? There you go. That could be the understanding. I just wanted to clarify. I wasn't sure, and there you go, Chris Adams. That just says the same thing I just said. So
yeah,
I don't think they break up.
No, yeah, maybe there can be an exception to the rule.
Well, you don't have to break them up. That's the thing. You don't have to break them up. It's just more that.
Yeah, that's true. But I think
those teams, I think Tom and Paul. So unless they show. If Tom and Paul show that they can't compete and they're like not doing it, then that's the kind of thing you want to say. Like I'm going to say bring up a different team, like somebody like a new team we haven't seen before, featuring not quite top tier players, like someone like maybe Video Drew and New Tom. I love Video Drew, and that's more not questionable team, but it's a more team that you're not convinced is championship level at this point until we see them in action. I don't know. I've never seen Rick play. I know Video Drew was good and everything else, but like if they lost, they got destroyed, then you might take them out after 2 turns. But someone like Tom and Paul, who are 2 possibly singles champions, you might give them a little more time to find the room. It all depends on the games themselves.
There's bias. I mean, we can't give these players with so much potential so much bias towards rookie competitors that haven't seen a match yet. I mean,
well, that's why I said you got to watch the matches. Like right now, though, let's say you'd say Tom and Paul, you break up. You say Tom and Paul losing their match, and you break them up. Who do you put them with? Like,
I feel like that's coming up in another topic here pretty soon when we talk about Claudia Dolfo and Claudia versus being traded for Bonnie. So, well, she's a competitor with so much potential, obviously. However,
We'll talk about the trade later on.
Completely dropped.
I got thoughts about that trade a little later. We'll talk about the trade later on.
I know. We'll go. I have not really. I have opinions or things to praise and say.
Words will be said.
Exactly.
All right.
But at the end of the match, we had a tie for points scored. So that's how good the Deep 13. And they did it all without RMB, who did not show up yet again.
That was my biggest complaint about them winning. I love those two guys. I'm happy they won, but the fact that it gave R&B points upsets me.
R&B can win despite himself, and that's the sad thing. He can just fall into it.
If R&B wins,
and he's got another team that's possibly good because he got Irwin and again James White. I don't know. I know he was good in the families at one point. I don't know much about him, but if Irwin and James White are good, that's another team that can give them points.
Mm-hmm.
R&B is not as bad off as people seem to think.
No,
unless he decides to start trading away all his people. But we'll get into that also later on again.
I am kind of curious that although we kind of talked about in this match a little bit about how Kate specifically, she made the mistake or recommend saying we should give Festival Darling. She did or didn't. It doesn't matter. But she was there.
Yeah.
R&B wasn't there for his team. So that really kind of calls into question not only his role as a manager, how seriously is he taking it? I mean, we've heard whispers about, he's been doing so much research and he has all these secret partners he's working with and everything. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, I know he's a busy man. He has 1,000,001 projects going on simultaneously. But he wasn't there, unfortunately. So, it's kind of curious how it's going to come into play.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on his player. I mean, some players, honestly, let's face it, some players don't really need a manager as much as others. Let's face it, like, who's the boss does not need Tom Dagnino as a manager, really.
Clearly, Merle,
that is the manager.
Needed a manager.
Merle, you don't. Some players are just that good.
I'm not saying he needs a manager all the time, but at the same time, Bateman was a huge benefit.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to lie. I mean,
it's a veteran championship match for a belt holder. So,
absolutely. But I mean, let's face it, Whitney and Duralde didn't do anything without RMB. They scored 36 points.
Yeah.
Like low key. One, can we just talk about how gorgeous he is? He is so stunning. He is so beautiful. I mean, like that majestic beard. Even talking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
I love the beard.
He did really well. Someone pointed out to me that when it comes to second and third round matches, he has only missed like less than 5 points total.
Good man.
Second and third rounds out of all the matches he's played.
Yeah.
I was like, are you fucking serious?
That's good, babe.
What?
So, I mean, that's the good stuff. I mean, I'm interested to see how they do next. I don't know who their next opponent is, but I really want to see if they can repeat this performance because they might be coming out of nowhere. It might be a strong contender for belts at this point.
Yeah. From that showing, it wouldn't surprise me, but I do need to see more, see if it was a fluke or if it's consistent.
And likewise, I want to see Tom and Paul have a next match there. I want to see them because it's funny because you finally saw Tom like it was like Drago getting cut in Rocky IV. He didn't get a question in round one. He had his streak of round one perfection snapped by a last name. I think it was or he had the last name. I can't remember.
Zachary Levi.
That was it. He had like Zachary and didn't have Levi. Whatever.
It's Zachary, yeah.
So Tom had a few stumbles.
I'm like, clearly that's not the answer. It's not Zachary fucking Quinto.
I know. I was
Zachary. Other than him and Zach Braff, I can't think of any other Zachary right now.
I kind of did the same thing when I was trying to play it. I was like the one question I got wrong too. All I was saying, I just kept saying Chuck. It's Chuck.
I know. I'm like, I can picture. I literally saw Shazam for the first time like late last week. I was on their IMDb page. I know the answer.
I got to Zachary, but I couldn't quite get there. I was the same way. So yeah.
That happens to me a lot where I will know the answer, but I'm drawing up a name, so I'll just shout a character. I'll be like, it's this person. It's this person. I don't remember the actor's name, but they're this character.
Or
and then I say the name. It was
okay. There's a fourth Zach in Hollywood.
Zack Snyder. And Zach, he's a director, but all sorts of Zachs. We're all about Zax, I guess. The Zaction. But anyway, so I mean, is there anything more about that match that we should discuss, or we?
I think that we covered it pretty good. I'm really excited to talk about the next match. If you guys are ready to move on.
Always.
All right, there was a pretty interesting match between Bonnie and Brett that I want to talk about because I'd like to point out that a certain person last week was saying Brett has this match. You guys were all underestimating him. I mean, like he. Okay, Alex too. Okay, so we had other people that we're talking to. We're like, come on, guys. And we're like, no, it's Brett. Brett's got this. Brett's got this.
Well, to be fair, I don't think I ever said Brett got this, but I said that Brett could totally get into Bonnie's head and surprise her. And
he didn't get into her head. That's the thing.
I don't know. There's a couple times, like, when he got the first point.
Bonnie's just not a good competitor.
When he got in the first point, he jumped up, ran around, and like I think
but she didn't get. What was it? Who directed War of the Worlds? 2005's War of the Worlds.
That's true. There's a couple questions you missed.
Like,
I think Brett missed that one too, didn't he?
He did Indiana Jones. He did Jurassic Park. He did BFG. I can go on. I'm just pulling a Kalinowski right now. Like,
that's true, Saul. Den, the other Den. The Den has been very good so far. That's for sure.
I was so happy, not only because it was a fun match getting to see
very true,
Brett winning, but also his sheer joy when he would get an answer right just would warm my inside. Just like, oh, look how happy Brett is. It made me so happy. I love Brett so much. Like legitimate, when my son saw Sonic today, he had the same expression on his face. He was just like pure bliss of excitement, and that was Brett. And I was so happy for him.
This match is going to be against Brent. I don't want to call him Brendan. Go up against Ben Goddard, right?
Yep.
I'm sorry, that's going to be a slaughter.
I think it might be.
I have complete respect for Brett. It's like Josh McCouga going up against Dan Murrell. It's just like these are completely different kinds of players.
Hey, all I gotta say is Josh McCouga beat Mark Andreyko
in season 1.
Season 3, I think, of 4 or something. Season 4. We got the answer question. You never know.
If Brett spins the right wheel slice and it's all kid movies that he knows because he watches them with his children, he might get this.
Now, I am saying that I will predict that Ben Goddard will win. That's my prediction.
I mean, I think he will as well, but I would love it if Brett won again. That would be great.
My point, though, is that Ben is a competitor that's actually taken this seriously. He studies very regularly. He's constantly talking about how he studies. And Brett's like, if I happen to come across some knowledge, cool. If I don't remember it, whatever. He's that guy, unless he's like faking it, you know.
Saul, is that true? Is that true? That match night, not because are you fooling around? I know that Christian mentioned at the end that they could avoid that because they said he had a whole spiel at the end where he said that if it was a ranking thing or the championship match, the factions could avoid it, but to avoid a loss, they could make the Den match not happen because they're both from the Den. So if that's the case, if Saul knows that could be the case, that maybe they're not going to face each other after all. Which would be sad because I kind of want to complete the SCN tournament. But if that's the case, it makes sense. If he says so, I'll buy it. Saul's in the Den, so I'll buy that. That's what's happening.
And it makes sense. I can see why.
Do you think Bonnie went into this match assuming she was going to win? I mean, because she went like heads against Janine in their debut matches.
I gotta be honest.
Her debut match. Not in Bonnie's debut match. She's like 0-3 or 0-4 or something at this point, technically. But they went to like sudden death. It's Janine, a bad competitor right now. She's arguably one of like the top 10, top 12, I think, competitors.
Well, like you said, that was Janine's first match too. So that was like she's not quite the same player that she is now. She's developed along the way as well. But as far as Bonnie goes, I think her winning was showing up. That was her victory. I don't think she didn't study. She wasn't care. I don't think she.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's why. I mean, like, Did she assume that she was going to win? So there's no need to study. There's no reason to prep in any way, shape, or form. There's no reason to have IMDb as my homepage.
Do you have that?
IMDb is
studying. IMDb homepage.
That's true. That is true. Yes, Bonnie has the same record as RB3, 0-3. So you're saying Brett is Janine?
I feel so bad.
I don't think that's what they're saying there.
No.
That's not what that's not what they're saying at all. But, and Kyle, you're absolutely wrong. You are absolutely wrong. Just so you know. I'll call you out there. Mm-hmm. She's not overrated at all.
Okay.
She's finally being properly rated, I think, is what we're going with here.
I think she's being properly rated. Absolutely. She's finally getting some of the love she deserves. Absolutely.
I think now that she's got the manager she does, she's going I think that's what she needed. Just someone to just work with her, things like that.
Yes,
I think I think she'll have a belt soon, either this season or next season. Mm-hmm. She's gonna have one.
She wanted she needs somebody who was a little more committed to her than Jay Washington was as manager. I think. I mean, whatever it is, I think having Sam and by default there, Rachel helping her out. I mean, Janina said that as soon as Sam drafted her, Rachel had taken her aside and told her we're gonna take this all the way at this point. So she has Rachel Cushing teaching her. I don't know who else you could have to be a better choice to teach her, except maybe Ben as far as strategy goes, but as far as pure knowledge goes.
Yeah. Well, to me, I mean, honestly, people talk about the den. People talk about corruption, or whatever it may be, all these really great factions, but people aren't talking about the usual suspects nearly enough. Honestly, people are talking about, Finstock Exchange and everything, and that's great and all, but why the fuck is no one talking about the usual suspects? I mean, you got family that's 6-1. You got Janine, you got Drew, you got McQueenie that's going into singles again.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, it's going to be fantastic. And Sam, a former double belted champion, he's come forward and he's like, I am going to be working with these people to get belt. I can guarantee they're going to have at least one belt by the end of the summer.
First of all, how dare you? But yes, you're right. They're going to be talking about the usual suspects a lot more. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I think that the family is going to take everybody by storm. I think they're rededicated. I think you got Janine, who's going to be kicking ass and taking names. I just think they're not being talked about much because there hasn't been much talk about what matches they're going to have. You had Drew versus RMB in the beginning, but that was a big one. What else is not much talked about? There's a family versus corruption that was talked about.
Do you know the fan group? Do you know how big their fan group is on Facebook?
The Usual Suspects fan group? No, I don't actually. I've been in all the things.
Pull that right up right now. I remember looking at it and I was appalled.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna make sure I am
the numbers are disgustingly low if you compare it to other factions. If you can't compare it to the dungeon. Okay, dungeon makes sense. They're already established. But if you compare it to any of these new baby factions, let me just pull it up right now because I was just flabbergasted.
Yeah, that's one thing. I would like to. I'm really hoping they push the individual faction T-shirts. Right now we just have the season one, which is awesome, and I'm excited to get it. But I want to go to a live event and see just herds of people with their favorite factions T-shirt, because then I feel like that's part of the sport. That's what's exciting. And last I checked, which was a couple days ago, they still don't have the faction shirts, so I don't even know if they ever will. But I
think they will. From what Kristen was saying, I think it's the whole deal with Skybound. I think they're going to get them. It's just, I think it might be taking a little longer to get how it's going to work. I don't know. That's not any knowledge I know.
That's just a theory. That makes sense.
That's what I thought I heard that.
Because I wanted to wear a Finstock Exchange shirt.
Because you want all the shirts. You want all the shirts at all time.
Maybe not the Burning Drew, because I haven't decided yet. But I want the rest of the shirts. Use laundry and rub things in the toilet or whatever. But
Okay. I'm hoping I'm searching for it right now because maybe I was thinking about the Mouthy Mercs because I know for a fact I'm part of like I think I'm part of like all these fans groups. However, maybe I'm mixing up with that one, but I'm trying to find the Usual Suspects fan group right now on Facebook. I'm having a hard time finding it, period.
That's also not good.
So if someone can find it for me, I assumed I was already in it because I'm already like it's part of everyone. But
okay, as long as I have them somewhere.
Jerseys instead of shirts would be interesting though too.
I please.
Carpet Burry saying the Usual Suspects fan page.
Is that it?
I don't know. Find out. Let's see.
Usual Suspects. Usual Suspects fan group. There we are. There we are. Sweet baby Jesus. Okay. It's okay. It's not great. It's not at 500 people, I want to say. Now we're just going to compare it to the dungeon. Hypothetically. Whammy. Oh, man. Oh. The Burning Droogs. Ouch. Burning Droogs. I got to amp up my stuff on here. Burning Droogs won't get like people. Oh, God. No. People, where's the love for the Burning Droogs?
Well, they're the enemy of everybody, pretty much, except for
R&B, my
Ethan
mortal
Irwin
enemy.
fans. I mean, R&B is our mortal enemy. We shouted him down pretty well. And
I will shout him out. If I run into him on the street, I'll shout him down. He's like, boo! I don't care. Like,
there you go.
Okay.
Since 365 members.
I stand corrected. I am completely wrong in my assessment of the Usual Suspects because we are higher than all y'all. We are higher than all y'all at like 476, and the dungeon at like 365.
Of course, that's the thing. I mentioned this before at one point. I mentioned this before at one point. The faction thing is a good thing for the Schmoedown, but at the same time, I find myself torn because the more I watch the Schmoedown, there's more people I like, and the more people I like, they're in all. There's people I love in all the factions that I want to support in every faction. I choose to totally support the Usual Suspects because beyond all, Andrew Ghai is my boy, and I will always support him to the end of time. Time memorial, even if he becomes a tweener. But either way, that is the guy. But I like everybody. I love Roxy. Roxy's one of my favorite managers of all time. I love Kate. I love Shannon. There's people I love in all the groups.
Well, if you were to be a competitor, who would you want?
Who would I want to be as my manager? I'd have to say either. I mean, we don't know everything that goes behind the scenes as far as it's always tough to figure out who does what as far as things go. My initial thought is honestly Sam Levine. It's Sam Levine and Rachel. You go with the Usual Suspects because you have Sam Levine and Rachel Cushing. That's my initial thoughts. Roxy, though, is a great manager.
Technically, no, Rachel Cushing. She's not technically an advisor. We hear whispers about her role and her being in mentorship and everything, but there's no official statement saying that she is an advisor. So
You're right. Okay. I mean, with that being in mind, I mean, you have to say then you got to go with Roxy because you know that Roxy's been a top manager as far as things that she's been she took that team and took Jeff Snyder and made him into somebody that was even more than he ever was. And both Jeff Snyder and Mark and Jacob both have credited everything to her. I mean, a lot of them are good mouthpieces, but I don't know what they do behind the scenes as far as managing goes. Kaiser, great mouthpiece, and Kevin Smets will swear by him that he kept him positive and everything else. As far as the actual gameplay goes, I mean, Roxy has definitely been there for the entire time. So I like Roxy. I think I have to go with Roxy.
What about you, Kelsey?
I know my answer. I'd want Shannon because even though trivia is not my thing, I mean, it kind of is. I love trivia, but like not on Schmoedown levels. If I were to be in it, I would study on my own. I would figure out, I don't need that kind of encouragement stuff. I feel like I can on my own. Character in particular, I feel like I would need the push, and I would love to be a heel character if I were to be in Schmoedown because it's so not me. It would be more fun.
Heels always have
so I think
fun.
Shannon would be the best to like room me into like the perfect heel. So Shannon, I would like hands down.
With Shannon, you didn't even need to be a heel. Shannon would be the heel for you. That's the thing. He's like, that's the good thing. That's the good thing about some of the big loudmouth pieces. They can do the work for you. With the other mouthpiece, you just have to concentrate on the trivia, and that's part of the game there.
Like Chance, for example. I mean, him personally, he's part of corruption, therefore he's kind of heel. But him personally, if you get him by himself, he's not really heel.
He's kind of there. You just kind of
heel as Smets is a heel.
He wants Smets to be a heel. He really wants Smets to be a heel.
Like, he's just like, I can't be heel if I want to.
Chance gets to be there with Chance's teammate and Shannon, and Shannon gets to do that. So
I just want you guys to picture Smets doing that.
I can picture that. I've seen him think a few times, and
I feel like I've seen him do that.
We've seen Smethy singing Phantom of the Opera together, so it's something that we have seen him do. But anyway.
I took us really off topic. I apologize.
It's all right. That's the show. We're going to start using that quote because that's what we do here. We go off on tangents, and I love it.
We're going to get sued by Christian if we start using that, but that's okay. That's this show. We'll call it. That's just different enough to not to get sued.
That's the C2A way. There we go.
Absolutely. But go ahead. Let us bring it back to the match itself. Yes. I mean, it was a ridiculous train wreck. Not as much of a train wreck as, of course, Dagnino versus R&B, which is such a train wreck. It was so bad that it was great, entertaining. But they both got to double digits. Let's give them credit. They both got to double digits.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been as entertained by this match if it was other people other than Brett, because, like you said, it wasn't like so bad that it was good like R&B. And I like Bonnie. I like her on SCN Live, but I'm not like invested in her. But I just
want to say I like that better.
This is C2A.
Gold.
I love it.
On a shirt.
But like I adore Brett. Like, he's one of my favorite people to hang out with at live events, things like that. So just seeing the joy on his face like that when he would get questions right, it just made it fun for me. I was so excited for him, and it made it such a like sometimes some of the matches there's a lot of negative tension and stuff, and you could just feel like there's tension in the room. I didn't feel that there. I just felt like, these are two people having fun, competing in trivia, and it was nice.
Which is weird in a way. It's kind of antithesis of what the season is supposed to be. Like, the season with the sports thing is supposed to be kind of get all intensity, but it does show that there's still going to be a place for a match that's not quite as intense, quite as points driven as this is. Because it was definitely much more of a fun match, and it's good to have them. It's good to have. That's true. That's true. Nat Vu was saying Brett when he gave him so much satisfaction. You know why that is? Because Nat Vu picked up Brett in the fantasy league just before the match started, and Adelaide gave him crap for it, and now Nat Vu has 11 points, and Adelaide is still, I believe, in last place, I believe, still. So.
Don't doubt Nat Daddy. Natty Daddy.
That was pretty cool to celebrate.
I actually have Brett in one of my other fantasy leagues. It is it's so confusing being in like two fantasy leagues where with like the identical setups.
Yeah.
With identical roles, and I'm like, and a lot of them actually have like the same people.
Right.
Also, while we're at this match, good night. I want to shout out Danny's solo reaction to it. Doing it by yourself, it could have, like when you're trying to cover a conversation by yourself, it could be a little something that she was great. She was entertaining the whole time. She had good insights. Danny, you I love you.
Survived the difficulties like a champ.
Yeah. Oh, she's made I didn't even care. I was just like, I just see Danny being adorable on the side. I don't care if I can't hear her. It's fine.
She's so good that you don't even need to hear her. You just look at her and you can tell. Right? It's awesome stuff right there.
I could just feel her energy coming from the screen. I was fine. It worked.
It's very true. Well, I mean, that's not much more to that match, I don't think, but we should talk about what happened afterwards. Well, a couple days afterward, day and a half afterwards now, but finally got the trade announcement, right?
Yes. And okay, so first of all, the trade, which was I honestly didn't see coming, I was kind of surprised, was for Bonnie to be traded for Claudia Dolphy. Dolphy.
Maybe someone actually asked this question before we went on air. Does anybody know, is Claudia Dolph is she a singles player, or is she a Star Wars player, or is she an IG player? I thought she was a Star Wars player, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows that. Throw that in the chat for me, please. But I'm sorry, Kelsey.
But I was very excited about the trade, not necessarily because of the trade itself, but Shannon's post about the trade. Shannon, heel of the year 2020, just like her, just not giving a shit.
Okay, her performance at the draft, heel. Yes.
Yeah.
Her post is not a heel.
It's not.
Oh, it's enough.
No, she's saying, hey, this is business. You're a cool person, but you didn't win and you didn't actively try. The fact that you came here on time makes you a winner. No, I'm not here for that. That's fine if that's something you want to be in part of another group. However, I'm here for fucking wins and points. I'm not messing around.
And that's not a fun thing to say. Face would be like, we're so sorry to see Bonnie go. I feel really bad we had to do this. Blah blah blah. But no, she was a cold hard bitch, and I love it. I love it.
That's not. She's not being an asshole. That's not bad behavior.
She's being cold about it, which is not a bad thing.
It was like, oh, that what an idiot. Can't believe she didn't get this. Obviously, I gotta drop her. That's a heel. No.
Okay, real quick. Sorry.
Someone saying she didn't perform as well as we thought.
Singles.
Therefore, we're gonna have to consider other options in order to actually gain more points. This is business. Completely different.
I think but that's definitely, it's the way she does it. You could say it's business, but it was a nerds, you don't get shit done, I'm gonna cut you, bitch kind of thing. It was the attitude. See, Alex, you're a heel and you don't know it sometimes, so I don't think you recognize it sometimes. That's what happens.
I don't feel like I'm reform. I don't feel like I'm a heel. Me, my personality, it's just, I don't feel like I'm not a heel. I just am. I'm gonna read it right here. Listen up, nerds. That's heelish. I'm not gonna lie. There you go. I've got a faction full of incredible new people that I want to whip into fighting shape, and I don't have time to fuck around. Not heel. Business. Bonnie wanted to play, and I gave it to her. Bonnie didn't covet, so I had to cut her. Now, if y'all thought I was simply going to drop her after the pathetic display against Brett instead of getting better,
pathetic display.
You're an idiot. As far as I'm concerned, the smoke show is the Drew's problem now, and I'll let her keep the name as a token of appreciation for actually showing up.
How is that not a heel?
And my Texas Dolph means it.
How is that not heel?
That's
not heelish.
Okay, well, everybody is saying you're wrong, basically.
Everyone get me wrong. Okay, when Rachel Silvestrini being like, hey, Devon, you fucked up. We should have been better today. That's not her being heel. That's her being like, hey, I want to do better as a team, and you didn't give me that today. That's not a heel. That's her.
A face, like, I feel like that was a heel-ish moment for Rachel. A face handles it different. A face will be like, hey, buddy, I love you, but this didn't go well today. We need to work on that. You know what I mean? It's just...
No.
Chance is saying you're...
Showing that you care.
Can you imagine Coy saying something like that?
Aggressively, that's not the same thing versus you're a fucking idiot. You should have done better. Chance, you're the worst. I'm gonna drop you because you didn't get these 5 questions. That's a heel. Versus
I'll just go down and down lag.
You didn't step up your game or whatever it may be. You didn't step up your game. You could have done better. So if you don't step it up, we're going to have to consider other options. Not heel.
Back to the unintentional heel of the year herself, and that's probably true. Look, I love heels and I love the statement. That's what tells you right there. I love the statement because it was a heel statement. That's why I loved it so much. So it's...
Okay, so in that case, it's just her straight up personality.
That's a heel personality to have.
It is.
Yeah. So what if she wasn't acting?
It's still a heel personality to have. No. Acting or not, you don't have to act as a heel. You can be a heel.
Yeah,
showing that she cares. Why is that a heel thing?
I don't have to argue with you. I'm just going to keep bringing up the chat comments at this point.
She cares, guys. She's very passionate about her competitors, and she is what she wants to win. That's not a bad thing.
But it's how you do it.
All wrong.
Like I could have said that exact same statement, almost verbatim, changing certain keywords and turned it into a face statement. But the way she said it, like I said, man, I love Bonnie so much. She is the sweetest human being ever, but we are just not clicking on a level. And so we're going to trade her, see if we can find someone who can mesh a little bit more. But I wish her the best of luck on the Droogs.
You're right. I should definitely fake it as a manager and be like, hey, I really liked our connection and it was great and all, but you know what? You didn't play as well. I'm going to have to cut you, but I still love you. But you know, whatever.
Now you're a face.
That's more face.
That's to me 10 times more heel than
what would Ghai do? What would Ghai do?
What would Ghai do? That needs to be like a bumper sticker.
You didn't amp it up. I'm going to have to drop you. Cool. Right?
Ghai would have said. Exactly.
No, wait, let me see if I can find a leather jacket.
I have to let her go. I'm sorry. I love her. She cares with her trainer. She worked with her to make her better. Although I'm not sure that's true because that would have been a smart move to get rid of her, to be honest with you. But honestly, Alex, you just need to learn what a heel is. You were obviously quite uninformed at this point.
He hasn't won. She is technically below R&B when it comes to points right now.
Alex, you're so heel, you don't even know. You don't even know.
She is ranked technically below R&B.
Well, she's only had the one match.
Think in for a minute.
She's only had the one match.
Yeah, I know, and she technically.
It's too early to talk about rankings.
Yeah,
at this
talk
point.
to
Really
summer.
Is.
Summer is when we'll start to see.
Give it at least a month or two. We've had a couple matches perfection. That's when it starts getting.
But sure, absolutely. But technically, right now, I bet it's seething in her, knowing that she should have had this hands down easy.
All right. You have another person saying he's agreeing with you, it looks like. But remember, Kyle was wrong earlier about Janine, so I just keep that in mind as well.
It's not a heel thing to want to win, guys.
It's not. No, it's not a heel thing to want to win. It's a heel thing of how you interact with people. When you basically call somebody a loser, you're not going to be a good guy. You're going to be a heel.
Hey, if there's a difference between like, hey,
you're Captain America. If Captain America was trading somebody away,
that's 10 times more heel than being like, hey, you're a fucking loser. And being honest about it versus being like,
what are you talking about?
Very good. We really didn't like it. And so we're going to have to ask you to,
That's called being nice. That's being a face.
My tone. Yeah, so you didn't win as many points as you. Get out of here.
So calling people a loser is the face move. That's what we're saying now. That's basically what you're saying. Calling people a loser is a face. That's a face move. That's what you're saying. I'm just trying to go. I'm reading your logic. Just answer me that question. It's a face move. You're saying. That's exactly where is the point.
Oh,
you bit someone. You are a heel. That's another heel move.
He just tried to shush me. He just tried to shush an adult female. That's an asshole.
That's a heel move.
He's like, I don't like your opinions, woman. I'm going to shut you up by putting my finger against your mouth like this.
I don't think it matters if you're a woman or not. You're just having wrong opinions either way. You could be a man, woman, child, alien, tree.
I was just defending myself.
Again, so heel you don't even know it. And look at, I love the heels. Just admit it. I just admit it.
Y'all fucking
okay. Okay, Alex, you can admit being wrong. It's okay. It's okay.
No, y'all fucking suck. Okay, I get to die by this.
I think it sounds like. I think honestly, this is a Schmoebates kind of Schmoebates.
This is gonna have to be. I'm gonna make an announcement here at the end, and it's gonna be a pretty awesome fucking announcement regarding Schmoebates. So stay tuned.
Now, if you compete in the Schmoebates.
I have competed in Schmoebates.
If you will compete in the Schmoebates, I will take you on in the Schmoebates.
I don't want to go up against you.
Because you'd lose. I know. It's okay.
No, it's not that.
The audience votes, right? The audience votes for the winner. We already talked about that. I just don't know all the audience telling me how wrong you are. So I already just won.
In the words of Whitney Seibold, y'all are being douche waffles. I say that with all the love.
And Whitney was being a heel when he said it. It's okay.
And bitch slapped in the world.
Douche there you go. Well, dump your ass a day later. The Emperor just wanted to prove the universe he's not a heel. Alice Max 2020. Oh my God.
Come on, Shams.
Malcolm, you might be right. You might be right. You never see me debate. Actually, I'm 1-0 in Schmoedown. Just saying, I am 1-0.
I fucking hate you guys. You guys are weenies.
It's for hotcakes. That's true. That's very true. Pass the syrup.
Oh my gosh,
it's not here when you're honest. It's about.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm dying on this hill, guys. I just want to say.
Where is Hot Gams?
Okay.
Hot Gams.
That's true. Lucas, hot legs shot deck. Just saying. I could have. Specifically, it is so much easier for a female competitor or manager to go heel or to look like a heel because she's being quote unquote mean as a female. She's already going to be perceived as bitchy. She's already going to be perceived as rude because she might be on the same level or maybe even a little bit worse. Okay, if Gucci was doing this, guys.
Wait, whoa.
I would say that would be a move.
Are you doubling down and saying?
Move.
Are you doubling down? Yeah, yes, thank you, Lucas. Are you doubling down and saying that she's not a heel?
No, I think she is. She has moments of complete. She is totally a heel overall. But what she did specifically,
you shut up over there.
I love you. But what she did in that letter, message, whatever, it was not a heel. It was her being direct. It was her getting down to business and being like, you have to get your shit together or you're out. And you didn't. You had no directions. So
there's a difference between being honest, straightforward, and telling them it's pure business, and calling them losers and calling them idiots. That's the difference. You don't insult on the way out. If she just came out and said, "Business decision, I wasn't happy with performance. I have to move her on. I'm trying to improve my team. I think this trade will better my team." That's all she had to say. And that's not a heel move. What was that?
Is that the verbiage that Gucci would use? Gucci would never use that verbiage in a million.
I don't think you can get Gucci to take. I don't think
right now he would be considered a tweener.
No, because Gucci would just say something about how he needed Bonnie to go get something in Jersey's trunk, and he would go on a nonsensical story. The difference.
Yeah, he would a story that makes no sense and goes end. Okay.
That right there. Gucci wouldn't be able to spell half the words. That's true.
It's so easy for her to be considered an extreme heel, even with something that's not nearly as bad as that message.
There you go. You were being let go. What would your manager tell you? Take care of business. Get out of here. You're a loser. You got to get rid of the losers. That's why we're firing you.
Wait, which one am I looking at?
Lucas saying, Alex, if you were being let go, would you think your manager was just taking care of business if they told you they had to drop dead weight and get rid of the losers when they were letting you go?
One of them, yes. The other one, no.
If I had either of those things said to me, I would probably file a lawsuit.
There's a difference between it's like, hey, you're not pulling your weight around here. We've had several conversations about this. You're not taking this very seriously, so I'm gonna have to drop you. That's not a heel. Versus, hey, you're like doing absolute shit. You're a fucking loser. Get the fuck out of here. That's a heel.
That's pretty much what she did.
No, what she said. That's what it.
She classed it up a bit, but she still said pretty much the same.
She classed it up a bit because she's not allowed to swear.
Drop dead weight.
If she was allowed to swear in the Schmoedown, there's a lot
if she could say F word, it would have been like F this person, F and drop this person.
I'm gonna die on this hill, and that's okay. We should probably just move on to the next topic in that case.
You're right. You have died on this hill. That's true. You have died on this hill.
Lucas is probably gonna we're gonna be in bed on our phones together, and he's gonna be leaning over to me and be like, "Hey, you remember what you said earlier about Shannon and corruption? Hey."
Thank you, Lucas. You're doing the Lord's work, Lucas.
Well, I'm attempting to go.
Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work.
Lucas.
All right. Well, I guess we'll move on to the next segment then. If anyone can think of any other.
I think when you look back on this episode, Alex, you're going to realize the mistakes you made. You're going to be mistakes were made.
Y'all have made mistakes, okay? No mistakes.
Forget it with sup nerds.
You know what? That's actually probably why I love Shannon, and that's why I feel like
because you love heels.
No,
you love heels. You're a self-respecting heel lover.
Similarly, I sense we're connected. We're way too similar. I feel like
Wiki Feet is your friend because you love heels that much.
But regardless, so I personally couldn't go with her as my manager. We're just too similar.
Yes, Necrotic. This is kind of a weird showmate. It's an impromptu showmate between Alex and I at this point.
Oh, yeah, I didn't start the clock or anything.
She does love to argue. And you know what? I do too. I don't get a chance to do it very often.
Show about arguing.
Alex, that's true. Alex is being paid by somebody to argue this.
About arguing. I don't feel like there's enough about it.
Krista, nothing at all is wrong with being a heel. And actually, just got to know when you are being a heel. And
yeah, exactly. I love heels. Heels are my favorite thing in the Schmoedown.
This is a good question from Lucas. What is the line for heel behavior? What would have made that a heel move for you?
Oh, in that case, is Video Drew a heel?
Well, speaking of Video Drew.
Oh, hey, girl. Is Video Drew a heel?
All right. Point out something that she said. No, she is a different character entirely. She has to be
on one of the three men. Which one is she?
She'd be one of the three. I would say she's a tweener.
She's a tweener?
I don't know if she's a tweener because she hasn't really done anything either way. She's kind of like her behavior towards Tom, her controlling behavior towards Tom could be heelish.
What
was that? I'm sorry, go ahead.
One faction more than the other, which fantastic. She aggressively campaigned to be a part of the dungeon. She's like, hey, fuck Tom. I'm going to get a better competitor. I'm going to get Tom 2.0. That's pretty heelish behavior if I ever heard
that. Is heelish, but it is more of a tweener thing overall. And so she hasn't committed either way to being a full heel. Shannon's already committed to being a full heel.
Honestly, low-key, I feel like Video Drew is like a kind of heel that we haven't seen before. She's like an unintentional heel where she really fucks everyone up, but she doesn't realize it. She just confuses everyone. And she's like, and now everyone, thank you so much for coming. And she does that and it's amazing. And she's all out of bag of chips, but everyone's like, what's going on? I don't know what to do. And she knows that's going to be a reaction. So she's intentionally fucking everyone up around her.
She's causing chaos. She's a chaotic person.
A separate plane than everybody else. She is beyond faces and heels. She is her own force, and she cannot be compared to anyone else.
I get it. She is completely her own, has her own gravitational field. Everything is like being absorbed to her. Everyone wants to be closer to Video Drew because she's amazing in every way. But she is an unintentional heel.
She's an intentional heel, you said?
Unintentional heel.
Unintentional heel. Okay. Fair enough. Alex, you never answered the question, though. Lucas says. The question being, what would have made Shannon Barney's statement a heel? What would she have had to do to make that a heel statement for you?
Listen here, bitch.
Sup, fools? Sup, nerds?
Honestly, I think think if she had said something along the lines of, "Hey, she fucked up." No,
she basically did.
She's talking about how I gave her a chance to play. I gave her that opportunity. I gave her this awesome nickname. I've helped her in all these different ways. She didn't pay me back. Her version of paying me back was showing up on time. And also, listen up, nerd. Here's the deal. That's like to everyone. It's not towards Bonnie. Just clarifying. So,
but it's still a heel statement.
She's not being a heel. She's kind of being like to everyone. So, like when she's saying these things, if you were to be reading this right now, if she were, oh my gosh, Lucas, shut up.
As Alex has a heel statement by going after Lucas. There you go. Okay.
If she said Bonnie fucked up, she played fucking horrible. She is the worst competitor. I'm dropping her because she's so stupid. Ew, gross. Anyone else take her. That's heel behavior. But she said
adding is heel behavior because that was really the only difference I heard in the statement.
Bonnie wanted the chance to play. I gave it to her. Bonnie didn't cut it, so I had to cut her. Like, where's the heel in that statement?
Am I wrong? Is anybody else in the chat?
It's a Droog's problem. That's a simple statement.
You're calling someone. She's calling her a problem. She is now the Droog's problem.
Yeah. Okay.
You're insulting her.
All right. I love
Faces don't.
It's a problem to his faction. So, because he lost. I love RME as a competitor.
I'm pretty speechless right now, but just so you know, that's an interesting thing.
I was like, he's gonna play and he's gonna be amazing. And inevitably, it's just gonna take a little extra time, and that's fine. Like a lot of competitors.
Thank you, Video Drew. There you go, Video Drew. Has any face ever had to qualify a statement with "I'm just telling the truth"?
To be a problem for his faction.
That could be true.
If you're a problem for your faction, you're a problem. If you're I apply this to like any business. If you're being a problem for your business, you're a problem.
Okay. Everybody in the chat, 95% of the chat is saying you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, like.
So you
can be wrong. That's fine. If I.
She called her a problem. You call somebody a problem. You're saying, I'm getting rid of my problem. And you're a heel. You're a heel.
No, the thing is,
you love being a heel. Lucas, is she a heel or not?
Problem. Lucas. He puked on my floor. Of course, he's a fucking problem. He's causing problems all the time. If you're causing problems, you are a problem. That's the correlation. If you do not win in some form or another, you're taking. If you're not gaining points in some faction, you need to serve a purpose.
Yes, you are. You're a heel too.
Oh, Kim is definitely a heel, and I say it as the highest of compliments.
Bingo.
High compliments, high praises.
Everyone has a purpose, and if you don't have it's fine. I just don't understand why I'm wrong.
The story of your life, it looks like, baby. You just don't understand why you're wrong, but you are wrong, and it's okay. We're here for you.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes. This is a face reaction to what's happening right now. It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
What are you doing?
So here I got Wikipedia pulled up for the.
It's Wikipedia. I don't believe in Wikipedia.
Fake news.
Fake news. Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Wow.
Wikipedia. I edit Wikipedia for fun.
No, you don't. You're too lazy.
Yeah, I am too lazy, but I used to.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You always think and that's the truth.
Yep. Villains are the heroes of their own stories. Fact.
Yeah. And also, heroes also think they're heroes. So, it's kind of.
So basically, you're just admitting that you don't know which one you are.
Okay, so in that case, okay, if that's the argument, if Shannon thinks she's a villain,
mm-hmm.
is she actually a villain? Like, no, no one actively thinks they're a villain. As far as she's concerned, She's very direct. She's hardworking. She is willing to be very loyal to her competitors, and she is willing to be, and she's very ambitious for her faction, and she's very vocal, and she speaks up for her competitors. That does not make her a heel. She is, don't get me wrong, she took Elliot Dewberry, and that's the most badass heel thing ever. However,
this is the best moments ever because I don't actually even have to do anything.
No,
I'm just bringing up comments and going.
If you are causing problems, you are a problem. If you are the initial cause of something at any kind of business, you are a problem. If you have,
go.
I call my cats problems because they cause nothing but fucking problems.
Okay, there they go.
But I love them.
Here's what it comes down to. Here's what it comes down to. Shannon has admitted being a heel.
Yeah.
She says she's playing the heel.
Okay.
Everything she does is to be a heel.
Okay.
Therefore, her statement qualifies as a heel statement because that's what she's trying to do.
I understand. She's trying to be a heel. I do think she's a heel. However, not everything that she says is a heel. If she's being direct and she's very loyal and defensive of her competitors, that doesn't mean she's being an asshole about it.
She's being a direct heel. If you call somebody a problem and a loser, you are being an asshole. It's
no, if someone's being a problem, if they're taking up space where so Shannon has only so many matches that she's going to compete in this year. Her faction, right? Teams.
Yes, Chance, you are.
Star Wars, IG. There's only so many matches. So her faction and Shannon in particular, she's going to have to be smart. There's so many great managers. There's so many amazing competitors overall. She's going to have to be so smart about being the top faction by the end of the season, right? Okay. So therefore, if she thinks to herself, hey, my competitor did not ace it, that's fine. However, if she didn't do great, that's fine. I could have dealt with that. However, she made it seem like I should have been grateful she even showed up. That's a problem. Bonnie's attitude towards the match and towards her loss, that's the problem. And therefore, Shannon's like, you know what? I don't really need this kind of problem in my faction. What I need is someone that's driven. I need someone that's here for my faction and here to support my other faction mates. We're here to be united. I don't need someone that thinks I should be grateful because they showed up. If she feels
let me stop you right there. So
she's a problem, thinking she might spread a bad influence. Drop her ass.
Let me stop you right there. Is Shannon a good heel?
She's a heel. I mean, honestly, Bonnie is very much a heel to me at this point.
Okay, so she's a good heel. So you're saying she did not do good work with this statement?
To me, that's something like, to me, what she said, that wasn't a heel statement. That's all.
So she didn't do a good job of being a heel then?
In that moment, no.
It has taken me a lot of something not to just remove you from the stream from that point. Just
okay, you can try. I also set up the stream, so let's see what happens, Paul. Let's see what happens.
I can be heel of the year. I'll take heel of the year. I will be a heel if I need to be. But you'll know I'm doing it. And everybody else will know I'm doing it. And that's what Sheridan did. Everyone knows she did it, except for Alex.
It's just, I'm okay with it. I mean, like, if we have difference of opinions, that's totally fine.
It's okay. No, okay, right.
I feel like she was incredibly smart in dropping her. And RMB, I'm sorry. I'm like, you took her.
All right.
That's your problem now, dude.
That's that's going to be my new question tomorrow, I think. But anyway, I will say,
a 45-minute conversation about
just this part of it. So we're going to move on now. We tried to go off before.
I think we should probably move on to our next segment.
I do want to say one more thing about the trade. It does seem that all the managers have R&B on their speed dial. As if I want to get rid of a player, I want to do something else, I'm just going to call R&B and do it. Because he's been fleeced so many times so far. Let's face it, because R&B taking
true.
Bonnie, I mean, whatever, Bonnie is a one match. I don't think we're going to see Bonnie again this year, to be honest with you. I don't think she's really that committed to the league. That's my own.
Yeah.
So, like, why would you trade anybody for her?
Honestly, she's a real heel.
Why would you trade anybody for her?
Yeah, why would Bonnie's a problem. I love Bonnie. She's great. She's hilarious. But Bonnie's a real problem as a competitor. I wouldn't pay me to have her.
But so that's why is R&B doing this? And that's like the second time he's been fleeced. He gives away Video Drew, who is a known established quantity, who's only getting better and better, great character, great knowledge, and everything else, for a completely unknown quantity. And now he does again, giving at least an unknown quantity against somebody who's probably not going to play again.
Okay, but Video Drew also actively campaigned for another faction and she didn't want to be part of the Droogs at all.
Which is fine.
She was probably, R&B probably knew right out the gate, hey, I took her, this didn't work out initially, I thought we were going to connect, but we didn't, cool, whatever. However, she's probably going to be like, I don't want to play this match, I don't want to play this match, I don't want to play that match. Why go through that?
Well, no, R&B trading Video Drew is not the problem. R&B trading Video Drew for nothing. For nothing is the problem. I think he shouldn't really get.
Well, I mean, that means he's.
I mean, I shouldn't say nothing because I don't know who the player is.
He's going to be able to draft like another person, though. That's the thing. Maybe he wasn't there.
He traded one for one. I mean, yeah, he can pick somebody up, but who's left at this point?
We don't know. There's going to be people. People are going to be dropped. People are going to be traded, and
that's what I'm saying.
He could easily pick up one of the people from the Cinefanatics.
Well, yeah.
Anybody. Chris Adams. Or Robert Adams.
Let me ask you this.
Drop Bonnie for Cinefanatic.
That's true. That's very true. My question for that is though, like, if you have somebody who's established, and he's even semi-established, you trading him. Somebody who's semi-established. Actually, she's pretty fully established at this point. Loves the game, and you're going to trade them for a unknown quantity when you can trade them for somebody that could do you some good, definitively do you some good. I mean, or you're going to trade him for two people or something. You could have gotten more. Video Drew was worth a lot more than what they got.
It's true.
And that's what I mean. That's 2 times now that he's been completely fleeced as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if R&B doesn't think or if, I don't know. I'm not to say. But
in the words of Chris Adams, we want to play, but at what cost?
At what cost?
What if we were traded to the Droogs, Chris? How would you feel about that?
And I will say, Alex, that your our loud fight did bring Kim in here, so that's actually a nice positive thing right there.
Babe, I don't think we did that correctly.
There you go.
I mean, I'll take it. I will happily take it, but I don't think it's justified, right?
I just like I was on the wrong side.
It was.
At first, it got corrected.
It's all like an SNL skit for a minute.
All right.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to move on to the next segment?
I think we are.
Okay. Well, the next segment is Call to the Network, where we talk about all the amazing shows we have coming up this week on our channel. One of which is happening tomorrow that I am extremely excited for. Paul, can you talk about what's happening tomorrow?
Well, first we just had Schmoebaits tonight, so we're going to have 2 Schmoebaits this week, I guess. But anyway, tomorrow night on the channel, we have our Chilled Action show. I will say we have scheduled out the next 3 weeks, and tomorrow's is the one I've been looking forward to the most. We have Baby Carrots himself, Mark Ellis, going to be on the show. So that's going to be very, very exciting. I will also point out while we're in here, I'll just throw it out there. Next week, we have Winston Marshall coming on. And then the night that a lot of people have been looking forward to, and Call to Action, Chilled Action. No Star Drew is not taped. We are going live with Mark Ellis, just so you know. So you'll be answering your questions and everything else. He's slumming it with us tomorrow after his nights in Comedy Central. So it's okay. We're pretty excited about that. But then, like I said, in 3 weeks, an episode that everybody has been waiting for and calling for, John the Outlaw Roca is going to be appearing on Chilled Action. So that's what's coming up for us.
Yeah. So excited for that. Oh man, we have such amazing lineups, and they just keep getting better and better and more interesting. And I can't wait to see all these cool people come on the show. And you and Danny kill it every single time. It just, like I said, the show gets better and better because you guys get better and better and better every time. So
Thank you.
that's true.
Appreciate it.
All right. And then a couple days later on Wednesday, we have another little show you may have heard of. I'm hoping you have. It's called Schmoedown. If you haven't heard of it, then you need to look into it because it's amazing.
Am I a heel? That'll be discussed on Wednesday.
All right. So, Alex, what is planned this week for Schmoedown other than the one we just had?
Yeah. So if you like arguing as much as I do, what? I just might have killed my show today.
Or
but
this,
I
it's
will
the
not change my mind. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Regardless. Okay. On Wednesday evenings at 9:30 Central, 7:30 Pacific time, I personally host Schmoedown, held every single week on Wednesdays. So it's really fun. It's my debate show that I host specifically. So it is a little competitive. I'm a little bit competitive if you haven't noticed. And I have two competitors as well as a co-judge. A lot of times Kelsey is up here with me. Sometimes not, just depending on who we have. So we've had different competitors like Chance Ellison to Rachel Silvestrini. Recently we had Shannon, actually, as well as Mike Kalinowski, which was amazing. Now, excuse me, this Wednesday is a particularly jam-packed debate. My two competitors are actually going to be Brandon Hanna.
Hot man.
And Frank Janish.
Numbers.
So it's going to get heated. So I'm pretty excited about that. But also, my co-judge, moderator, whatever we want to call him, is actually going to be Kevin Smets. So a lot of really amazing people, competitors, are going to be involved. So it's going to be really, really fun. I really appreciate you dropped by and hung out with us because we do it live. And Kevin and I won't be voting. We will not personally not be determining who's going to be the winner and loser of those debates. It's going to be you guys, people that are actually watching it. Anytime, video. But yeah, so I personally run that show in its entirety. So if that's something you actually want to compete on, if you want to participate in some way, definitely message me through the Facebook page or on Twitter because I run that as well.
I'll be sending you a message shortly, Alex.
No. Nah.
All right,
I want to see that debate. I would happily post if someone would help me, just because I want to watch it. All right, so that is Schmoedown. And then I don't know about AAA Live. It doesn't sound like there's going to be an episode this week. But on Friday, not sure the time, Adelaide, you might have to message. But we have, pending health reasons, we're going to have a Call to the Fan Leagues episode, which is one of our new shows run by Adelaide, where they talk about the fan leagues. And they have amazing guests on, and it's fantastic. And you should check it out. If you like the fan leagues or you're interested in finding out more about the fan leagues, check it out because it is awesome programming with really cool people. So
yeah, we had Chance Ellison on last week that came from the fan leagues. It's kind of, we're getting more and more fan leaguers into the Schmoedown, so it's nice to see.
And also, I am a fan leaguer manager.
There you go.
Surprise.
Yeah, if you aren't following the fan leagues, there are a lot of up and coming people who go through there, so it's worth checking out. So, all right, and then of course next Sunday we will probably have another episode of Live, so we will see you then as well. Okay, and then if there is nothing else coming up, we can do our last segment of the night, which is questions from the chat. If you have any questions that you would like to ask, Schmoedown related or even not Schmoedown related, except for if Alex is a heel, because I feel like that's been covered.
Also, I just wanted to have something in here. Adelaide, specifically, my faction just won a handful of matches. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay?
Ooh.
Whatever. My faction is bomb. Okay, I love my competitors. They're amazing. And I train with them all the fucking time, and they're fantastic. I have complete trust in them. So,
man.
All right. I see one question that came. Oh,
I was just showing Adelaide Spence's little hit on Alex right there.
but a question about have we seen?
I don't even know
yet?
who you are, Adelaide. I don't know. You barely get matches. Okay, and I beat 2 of them. Okay, I don't know which one you're talking about, but whatever. I don't care about your opinions. Don't matter.
Sorry,
I saw Sonic. I saw Sonic the Hedgehog this morning. My kids loved it. It's really cute, and I hope it does well because not only because it's a good movie, I want a sequel. That would be great, but also to the fact that they listened to the audience and fixed things. I feel like we should, with our money, show that we like that. So use your money to show good job, studio, for listening to us. So they will do it in the future.
I'll be taking my son tomorrow to see it, so I will let you know then. But Alex, any shot? Are you going to go see Sonic the Hedgehog?
Maybe eventually.
Okay.
Lucas and I go to a theater like once every month, maybe. I mean, like, it's just going to a movie theater is just not something we do very often.
Fair enough.
We buy. I mean, I just saw Parasite for the first time the other day.
Now that's an incredible movie.
that was a great movie. Still, I'm still like you know, like when you actively think of a movie.
For days and days afterwards.
After you see it, like I was like in the middle of like doing a facial on someone, and I was like cleansing their face and doing a treatment, and I'm like doing this stuff and all that good stuff, whatever. And I was like, and I'm like, yeah, and that's like the symbolism of them like going down the stairs, and while I was flooding, and I was just like, I just kept thinking about all that, all the symbolism and everything throughout the movie, and then the architecture of the house and everything was done by green and the colors and. Like, this movie needs to get out of my life. Taking over right now.
Fair enough. Okay, next question. Lucas Shashak. I have a question for Alex. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I'm working. A lot of times I'm literally sitting in silence for clients because they're like napping. Like I gotta keep it interesting for me. Okay.
I think that was more in results of your earlier stuff. So I believe that's what that was still. Let's see. Jay Scott, for real. Who's going to have the best entrance at Free for All? Grab Alba's from last year is the one to beat. That's a good question. Good question there. Who could that be? I think Greg Alba will probably have another good one. He always seems to have these good ideas in mind that aren't quite too overdone, but just enough to be entertaining. But of course, you'd always have the Drew Ghai, Dan Merle entrance, which is always a different kind of entrance, which I like too. But if I'm going to bank on anybody, I would bank on a repeat from Greg Alba. He's a champion until he gets beaten. That's what I say.
Yep.
Champion entrance.
I could totally see Alba coming back with another really great one, so I agree. I think that it's going to be a repeat of last year.
Oh my gosh. Can we? I wonder what his next entrance is going to be for our free-for-all.
There's nothing that really
it's impossible to beat last year. His entrance. To me, it was like the entrance moment or whatever it was of the year. I can't imagine him beating it.
I could maybe see it once upon a time.
Trying to find a way to up the ante a little bit.
I could see it once upon a time in Hollywood, like Rick Dalton kind of entrance or something, maybe something like that. Maybe I don't know how to say. Something to that effect. I know you do. I love that movie. So much. Want to go right again? We're gonna go start fighting again, aren't we? That's right. We have time for
Round 2.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, Chance the critic there. Chance Allison, who do you got? Corruption of the family. Keep in mind there is a correct answer. There is a correct answer, Chance. I think that Andrew Ghai and Drew McQueenie are going to whip you and Chance's teammate.
I'm going to do what I did on the Facebook group and just not vote.
I love
because
you.
I love both teams dearly, and I'm going to be sad and happy no matter what happens. So...
Alex, since Andrew's not being a heel anymore, are you going to like him anymore? Because I know you're only a heel person now. So
I have so many feelings. When I saw that, I watched it with my dad over a meat and cheese platter. And when he announced he's going debonair, it just hurt my soul. Even my dad was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Dad, you don't understand." This guy is my boy. And he's changing it to debonair. What the fuck is that? But regardless, I'm going with the face. The family.
The family. Okay. Fair enough.
But I love corruption. If they win, I wouldn't be surprised. To me, they're like neck and neck.
If I want to put some serious talk into it, I'll put some serious quick talk into it. I do think that it's going to be a great match. I'm interested to see how Mike returns after Spectacular. He obviously had a long break, and that's going to be good for him, I think. But I do think that Ghai, if he's on fire, could get in Mike's head much more than a lot of people can. So I do think that that's where the corruption downfall will be, is that Drew might get into Mike's head too much, and Mike will be trying to overcompensate for both, trying to step up against Andrew Ghai, and also to overcompensate a little bit for his loss in Spectacular. So that's why another reason I am predicting the family. No offense to Chance at all, because I do like Chance. I do like Mike as a competitor. I do think that's what I'm going.
I don't think you're giving Mike enough credit here.
I give Mike all the credit in the world. He's just an emotional
Clearly
player.
not. You're saying that he's gonna, because he's gonna feel what, overwhelmed?
Not overwhelmed. I think Drew just gets in his head. He said he's an emotional player. And when people start talking about Facebook, he jumps right to it. He's somebody that, just like in the Team Action versus DC movie news days, they got into his head a little bit. I just think that he is someone that Drew can play well.
That happens to Drew.
They can
consistently. Well, I mean, you can't really kind of say that to either one of them. I mean, they're both very emotional competitors. Well, emotional is not the wrong word. Sometimes, well, just like any competitor, really, it just gets the heat of the moment can really kind of get the better of you.
I don't disagree.
I don't feel like it's a Kalinowski exclusive moment by any means.
It's not, but I think Drew gets into Kalinowski's head more than Kalinowski gets into Drew's head at this point. That's my own opinion at this point. Wow. Maybe it's a hot take, but
very. You're going to get a DM from Chance in like 20 minutes.
I could.
Very angry DM.
A very angry Chance.
You're like, what the flippity fuck?
Could be. I'll talk to him about it. He knows. All right. Move on. First wants to know our thoughts on the Billie Eilish Bond song. I don't like Billie Eilish at all. I think she's pretty terrible, to be honest with you, in general.
I don't mind it. I don't think it's like the best that's happened in a while, but I don't dislike it. It's fine.
Lucas forced me to listen to the song in bed, and then he played like 10 other songs, Bond theme songs. Mm-hmm. And by far, this one, the Billie Eilish version, was to me one of the better ones I've heard in a while. And also, that being said, I hated the Adele one.
I'm not as big a fan of the Adele one either.
I just want to reaffirm some of the lyrics real quick. When the sky falls, we will tumble. It's like we will crumble and face it all together when the skies fall. Those are the lyrics.
At least I can understand her, though.
So?
Billie Eilish sounds like she sings with marbles in her mouth.
Majestic in every single way.
I can't stand Billie Eilish. Never could. I know I'm an old white man here, so I'm gonna die in that hill.
Some of my favorite singers. Some of my favorite singers. I don't understand it completely. Like Sia, for example. I love Sia. One of my favorite singers of all time.
I love Sia.
Barely understand a word. Some of her earlier stuff, like Croissant Lady, that entire album, glorious. But that is, right. I loved Adele, but that song.
Okay, fair enough. Next question. Bibiani heel because of the Jurassic Park challenge? Is Dan Murley heel for getting pissed about it? Is Harloff a heel for creating environments for heels to thrive, and he's so confused? That is a topic
Harloff's
that
a heel.
Is it a heel to be pissed about an outcome? That's not heel behavior. That's being passionate.
Yeah, I would say Dan Murrell's being a heel. I don't think Bibian was being a heel either. I think that was a heel move a little bit, but it doesn't mean he's a bad player.
But he wasn't necessarily trying to be a heel when he
Like,
did
remember
it.
when Brendan Meyer was oh, is Brendan Meyer going heel? Because he was pissed about like Bateman being like, hey, you can't ask that during Brooklyn. That's not a heel fucking moment. Even Brendan Meyer said, no, I wasn't fucking heel at all. I was just reacting.
I've actually explained this before, my own opinion on this before, but real quick, just to update, like there is a difference. This is where the difference between storylines and real life competition comes in, because as far as the competition goes, you got to do whatever you can do to win. You got to do. You got to make those challenges. You got to make those statements. You got to do that. As far as if you're trying to insert that back into a storyline, then it's a heel move. Like, if everything was scripted, let's say the matches were scripted,
it wasn't a heel move. So a heel move can only be done like an actual heel move. It's not an real authentic moment being like, hey, that answer was totally true. Being like, hey, this is right or that's wrong. That's not a heel move. Being like, hey, you're fucking wrong.
No. The idea that that's a different kind of heel. It's like a petty move. When you're talking about Sir versus Lord, because you know the character, Dan Murrell knew it was Richard Attenborough. By going Sir or Lord, the heel move is because it's a petty move to do. In real life, you take the chance because you might be able to talk the judges into it, because Bateman has talked judges into wrong edges before. Yeah. Other characters have done that. So it's a petty heel move. It's not like a out and out. There's different kinds of heels sometimes. That's more of a petty heel move. If you're a wrestling fan, like something like Lanny Poffo would do, like the Genius. You're not necessarily outright like heel. You're just kind of subverted.
So if that were the case, if you were like at 24-25 and you making that question, potentially them not getting the point where it could mean that you win, would you still not challenge it? If it would
do challenge that, that's what I'm talking about. That's the difference between the competition side and the storyline side.
Yeah.
When the match starts, you got to do anything you can to win, no matter what it is. And that's the difficulty of having a storyline in a real competition. That's the difficulty Schmoedown is always going to have, because wrestling, it's all scripted. In other competition, it's all real. So you have the differences in them. You can do what will be a heelish move in real competition because you got it, but it still seems like a heelish move if you bring it back into the storyline. And that's where it's always going to be hard to balance that.
Mm-hmm. I can only imagine the timeline that Harloff and Ellis have at all times. You're like, we have like these 5,000 potential outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens.
And even then, they feel like they're prepared for all of them, and then something will happen. They'll be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, they plan like a handful of steps ahead, and they're like, "Well," and that's it, just because that's as far as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're not prepping for like the fall right now,
right?
By any means, obviously,
but you never know.
Okay.
General Faris Madonna, another general in the Action Army, new general. Did you all see the Bloodshot trailer? It looks nice. It is pretty sweet.
Oh, pretty cool. That's one with Vin Diesel, right?
It's the Vin Diesel one, right?
Yeah, it
looks interesting.
Looks like it's gonna be a fun, silly action movie. One's like an upgrade type movie or something like that. I don't think it's gonna be a huge blockbuster, but it should be fun. And you're right. Don't get me started on that.
I do want to address real quick. Oh, okay.
Would you be a manager for a fan leagues person who had only won one teams, lost one geek match, and played second at a 6-person friendly match? I think he might be pitching, trying to get you to be his manager. I think that's might be what's happening here.
Oh, I would have to chat with them, honestly. Like, all of my competitors, I speak with every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actively train with once a week. I write questions for them every single day. And I try to be present for as many matches as I can. So I'm not like very casual about it. I'm being a manager. Like, sure, we may not win all the time. That's fine. But I mean, it's something that I'm actively working on with my competitors all the time. So that's fine.
Fair enough. I think I lost some chat questions because it scrolled down on me. So if I didn't highlight your question, you can ask it again. I'm still going through them a little bit, though. How about this? Okay. Is Lucy a heel because she won't let Charlie Brown kick the football?
Yes.
Yes.
Lucy is the ultimate heel.
What Charlie do to Lucy? That's a real question.
Nothing, because she's a hero. He didn't have to do anything.
Where are the comments here? Let's see. Going down. Is the original Sonic the Hedgehog a heel because he was hated so much he was reanimated for the movie? Justin is just coming up with all the good ones. That's true. Good question.
Spielberg was a heel for casting Shia LaBeouf. Okay. This is like the third or fourth time Saul's brought this up, asking about the lyrics from Skyfall. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the lyrics. I understand it's symbolic of the movie and and the movie itself is incredibly symbolic. I got that. Whatever, tomato. But I don't fucking care. It's such a horrible, boring fucking song.
Yes,
I'll take Die Another Day by Madonna any day of the fucking week.
That's Lucas, by the way. Yes, I like a song a lot more when someone else covers it and enunciates the words. That is very true.
I like a lot better, but it's still like,
I think Adelaide's yelling at me with this stuff. What? Excuse you? And the fuck is wrong with you? Adelaide, just tell me what's going on because I was up in the chat a little bit more. So, let's see. Any questions? Oh, Alex said the writing on the wall is better. Wow.
Oh, I enjoy Writings on the Wall.
Ooh, better than Skyfall.
I'm not a huge Sam Smith fan. I don't know his music very much. But I listen to covers of Writings on the Wall semi-regularly. I like that song. Detective. I mean, I'm not a music person. I literally listen to the same 10 albums every year. Maybe switch album, but that's it. I'm not a music person. I'm not.
It could be.
So I mean, it's. I don't care about music. I never listen to the radio. I don't care. I didn't know Billie Eilish was until a month ago. It doesn't fucking matter.
The only reason I knew who she was because there's a music video where she has tarantulas all over her and coming out of her mouth. So everybody sent it to me because I have tarantulas. Look at this video. That's how I learned about her. Oh,
that's impressive for being able to do that and not shit herself.
Yeah, tarantulas release hairs out, so having that in your mouth is not something I'd recommend.
Yeah, I feel bad. I just don't know any of her music. I don't care. I'm still listening to Hamilton for the 50 millionth time. I mean,
I don't like most music from the last 10 years. But I do have to admit, I love the Birds of Prey soundtrack. I've listened to it all the way through 10 times since I've seen the movie.
On the way back from Birds of Prey, when I saw it, I started listening to it, and I don't know any of the performers or anything, but I'm like, damn, it is fucking catchy. But I'm like, I can't really sing along to it, so
it's good exercise music. That's my go-to elliptical.
Yeah, great exercise music. Yeah. That being said, I'm not going to jam out to it in the car.
I agree with Tim. I like Skyfall, just so you know. Anyway, I think that's all the questions. Anybody else have any questions in the chat? You can throw them in there now. I've actually reached the bottom, so we're good there. So
I did see one question that we missed. Let me see if I can find it. It keeps popping back up to the top. Yeah, it's from Malcolm. He's asking, would you want to compete or be a manager in the fan leagues? I don't feel like I'm good at trivia, so I'd probably be better as a manager, but I would rather be a competitor. I think it'd be more fun to compete, but if I were to really do something, I'd probably rather be a manager.
I've talked about the idea of going into a Star Wars match in the fan leagues. I'm pretty good at Star Wars, but I don't know, I like being a manager too. I like yelling a lot. I don't do it very often, but when I get the chance to, when Alex is someone who I get a chance to actually, she matches up with me. She's kind of like my wife, Kim. When Kim gets going, I get to yell back at her too. It's a good argument. So our married couples, the Schmoedown thing kind of works that way. We both kind of rumble a lot. But so I would love doing that as well. 1984. Okay. But so maybe, I would say maybe.
Here.
Maybe on both. Maybe on both. Sorry. And it is 1984. That's correct, 1984. Oh, you got any more questions for us, Adelaide?
One question in the chat I'd like to answer.
She Googled it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I thought Chris Warner was 84. Yeah, who's going to Free for All?
I am going to free for all with my kids.
I wish.
So I am excited for that. I'm excited to go for my first free for all. Alex, you're going, right?
I am.
Yep.
And just want to clarify, Adelaide, I wrote that question like 2.5 months ago for what two these movies came out for the rom-com thing. So that was actually a question of rom-com match thingy. That's
oh, Tim. That's sad. I was hoping you were going to be in the free for all this year. I was hoping that I think you would dominate in that kind of that could have been your moment, like a Brendan
I'm
Meyer.
less excited now.
Still would have done it. But. And you still got it wrong, supposedly.
No, I got it right. When I was in the manager bowl, I got it right. I argued it, and I was like, yeah, you didn't hear me right. He said 84. Same year as Romancing the Stone came out.
It's not really free. That
doesn't matter.
That's true.
That is true. Having to buy 3 VIP tickets really kind of hurt a little bit, but it's going to be fun.
Fair enough. Tim, family comes first. I guess that makes sense. So, anyway. Looks like that might be it.
Yep, I think that's probably enough questions for tonight. If we missed any, please check us next week and we can answer them then. Thank you so much for joining us on our weekly episode of Call to Action Live. We love having you. This was a freaking entertaining episode, I gotta admit. I mean, we had a little bit of a tangent there in the middle, but I feel like that was like the highlight of the episode. So I am not upset about it. So thank you guys for being so entertaining. Yes?
What the fuck?
What are you symboling?
I'm keeping my eye on her because we're battling.
Oh, okay. I'm like, am I forgetting something? I'm gonna talk about you guys in a sec. Calm down, Paul.
Paul? I would allow that match.
Really? I could see that happening. We could make that work.
All right. Well, anyways, Mac Daddy, Alex, the beautiful, the smart, the amazing, the heel. Where can people find you?
Apparently, this stiletto nowadays.
Stiletto.
Stiletto.
Yeah,
I'm Alex. I'm part of the Call to Action crew. You can find me running Call to Action Twitter at the Call to Action Pod. I personally run it, so I post funny GIFs and responses and stuff every once in a while. So please follow us there.
Fair enough.
All right. Awesome. And Paul, the heel arguing person. I can't think of something clever to say about you. Sorry. PLD. Where can people find you?
I'm at Paul_Denuzio on Twitter. You can find me at Chilled Action, like we talked about earlier. I do that every week. We also can find me on the Team Action Industries Patreon, patreon.com/Team Action. They were going to be announcing a whole lot of things tonight, but Drew was unfortunately sick and couldn't do it. Revamping the tiers and adding some different cool segments. So stay tuned for those announcements. That's going to be soon. Also, Jarvie and I do a show, Class Action, on the Action Industries YouTube channel every week. We just did the live Batman episode. We talked about Birds of Prey, and we also talked about ranking like the best live action Batman. And beyond all that, I'm talking about a million things I'm plugging. I am developing another project, which I'll talk about soon, just to tease a little bit.
Awesome. And if you guys aren't patrons of Ben and Drew, please become them. They put out some amazing content. They are always trying to find new ways to give awesome things to us. Become a general. The General's chat has become a family to me. It's a place where I escape, and if I need to talk to friends, they're there. And we would love to have you join our family. So become a general, become any form of a patron for Ben and Drew. I highly recommend it. And I am Kelsey. You can find me at KelseyKins90 on
in that chat. It's a fun time. It's like this. I'm 50.
Yes, 4 p.m. on Saturday. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, you can find me at KelseyKins90 on Twitter and Instagram. I also run the Call to Action Podcast Instagram because you can interact with me there. TeePublic, we have merch. Hopefully, we'll have some new merch coming out soon because I myself want to buy it. So we need to get it up there. And I also have been on a D&D group. We haven't really met up recently. I'm hoping we get back into that, but I am always looking to be able to go on other people's shows and talk about things because I like filming and stuff. So reach out to me. My Fridays are usually free now. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys this evening. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye. We salute you.